Hey everyone, Effie here. Today I'm back with a watercoloring video for you. I am not actually turning this panel into a card. I am just going to be doing a little bit of watercoloring. So I'm using our Poinsettia close-up stamp. This is a 6x6" cling background stamp. And what I did was I inked up this beautiful image with some Versamark ink, and I stamped it onto some watercolor paper, spooned on some gold embossing powder, and melted the powder with my heat gun. Next, I'm just going to do some watercoloring using this palette that I created on my own, which I filled up with some Colorburst powder. So now let's get started with our tutorial. I wet the panel with a spray bottle. It just has some clean water in it. I wet the whole panel, and now I'm going to put down my base layer of color using cadmium red Colorburst. The brush that I'm using is a Pentel large tip water brush, and my strokes are free, they're loose. I'm not thinking too much about this. I just want a nice light base color. When I'm satisfied with the base color, I'm just going to go back and layer on additional cadmium red into the inner portions of my poinsettia petals to add that contrast. You can see that I'm not going into each petal completely with the color. I'm making sure to leave some light areas as I continue to build up that color. I haven't really watercolored in about a month or so, so I didn't have high expectations for this panel. I just wanted to paint, so I just got out a piece of watercolor paper panel, turned the camera on, and I just kind of went, and I just wanted to see where this loose styled watercoloring would take me. And I was actually very happy with the end result. I didn't have any intention of turning this into a card. I just wanted to paint because I haven't really done it in a while. So I just experimented with this loose styled painting technique, and I'm actually really happy with it. It looks very, very messy at first, and my advice to you, if you're going to follow this tutorial, is that you kind of just keep going until the end, and then walk away from your panel for a few days and come back to it later on, because you're going to see that it's actually quite nice, that abstract loose watercolored look. But sometimes when you're like in the trenches and you're watercoloring, you don't really you can't really see the beauty of what you just created until you step back for a day or so. So after I finished with my cadmium red on the petals, I just started adding some terre to the leaves, and you can see I'm pulling in some of that dark green color into the petals because I want to add a little bit of interest. So I want some of that green to bleed into the red, and likewise I want some of the red as I go back later, as I add additional color, I want some of the red to bleed into the green. But I don't want the two colors to mix, because when you mix red and green, you get a muddy brown color. So I just want a little bit of bleeding to go on. So now I'm just going to add some Prussian blue to the background. And again, I'm not being careful at all. I'm just adding a little bit to the background for some interest. Next, I went into these areas with a little bit of violet color burst, and then I changed my mind and switched over to merlot color burst. I think it's merlot or wisteria, but now I'm using the merlot or wisteria to add that contrast. I encourage you guys to experiment with the different colors that you use, or just what you have on hand, because the results might surprise you. So now I'm going to add some olive green into the leafy areas, and once I pull in a little bit of that olive green into the petals, I'm just going to call this panel done. So I just wanted to jump on here, show you guys how I painted this. If you guys follow this tutorial, all you need to do is add a sentiment and your card is complete. I'll be back later this week with some more holiday inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I'll be updating our channel regularly as we head into the new year. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!